What's up, Ruthless Nation? Here we are Thursday evening. You know what that means. It is the Ruthless Racing Pro Series here on NASCAR Heat 5. And we start the playoffs of Season 5 right here on the Ruthless Racing YouTube channel from Darlington. Qualifying has already taken place, so we are just waiting for the join message over there. But Typical will make the start tonight, and he does claim the West Higgins ORV Pole Award with a 28.402. Second place was a 4.37. That was Parlee in the 17. And then Hollywood in third with a 5.01, almost a full tenth off of Typical. Exactly 9.99 off of Typical there, back to third place. So it'll be interesting to see how all this plays out here at Darlington. A very tough racetrack. Going to have 2 pit stops per stage, and very long stages at that. So tough racetrack, long race. It'll be 250 miles here at the Lady in Black. So really it'll be who can earn the least amount of stripes as they go around the candy cane walls of Darlington tonight. But nonetheless, we're just waiting for that join message. It's starting the playoffs here. A little bit of a shake-up in these playoffs, but I'm going to try to find where these are. Here we go. Alright, so playoff standings. We'll have Jason and Hollywood tied up at the top, followed by Typical, Parley, Dan, Crimson, Showstopper, and Kenrod. And then we'll have the cut line there, which is 3 points back to Ben, Shepard, Dak, and G-Dog. So that will be our 12 drivers in on this playoffs. And then we'll have the cut line at 3. So Kenrod will be racing back to Ben there. Shepard only 1 back off of Ben. Showstopper only 2 over on Kenrod up there. 4 over, for Crimson. So it's still relatively close to the drivers right above the cut line as well. Alright. Looks like Big Ben will actually be starting 4th in that mess. But we did get the join message, so we'll go do that. Alright, Ruthless Nation, here we are, first race of these playoffs. And it happens at the most ruthless track of them all, Darlington. A very forgiving-esque 1 and 2, but a very daunting 3 and 4 are the turns here at Darlington. But we'll have Typical, Parlee, Hollywood, and Big Ben starting in the first 2 rows to get this one started here at the Lady in Black. But it's Ruthless Thursday Night Pro Series action here on the Ruthless Racing YouTube channel. We're underway from the Lady in Black, the track that fights back Darlington here in the playoffs. Typical way down there below that dotted line. That's not what you'll really see from a lot of guys here as this race goes on. I imagine things will get a little crazy here as we progress. Guys going to be fighting for position here. It's a very... Oh, and there goes Kenrod around. He avoids everybody in some way or fashion. Thankful for that. I know exactly his pain, though. I literally wreck at that exact point of the racetrack anytime on fresh tires. Good to know I'm not the only guy that experiences that. There's that very tight 3 and 4 that they just went through. top 5 or 6 pretty much got themselves lined out. Dan the man there in the 9 trying to get himself just set down in order. A regular season points leader, regular season champion of Jason finding himself having to work up through this field here. Darlington, really tough racetrack. It's not one that guys are particularly good at when it comes to racing on here. So, thanks to anybody tuning in. Oh, we have got a caution. Not sure where that went down at. I was trying to get the stream shared over here. Next thing I know, we got a caution. Couldn't really tell you though. Oh, there we go. Nascarillo might be one of those guys. I would imagine it was somebody around them. Here we got S-Snap with some damage along with Jack Ballsy. I don't know if that's damage or not on Sir Gillians. For some reason, he was in the 45 car. Should have been in the 12 car. Might have just been in the accidental car. I'm not sure how that'll play out. But first caution happens here at Darlington. So we'll get another rack'em stack'em restart here. 22 is the fuel number for the pit stop. So probably still looking at 2 pit stops here in this stage. Trying to get back to some of this action in the back of the pack. I know some things are going to get crazy. There goes B Nizzy into the wall. Him there. Oh, Dak Fu comes up, gets a little touch of that 11. Now he's down there on that apron. That's not where you want to be. Not a lot of guys giving him some space to get back up on the racing surface. And that's going to filter him back a good amount. Sir Gillians here. Oh, we got a huge wreck there out of 3. Oh, they're going to pile them up big time here going on to 3 and 4. That'll be another caution. Big heavy contact there. Your regular season champ Jason in the 23 caught up in that mess. Some guys get through it untouched. Others not so lucky. 77's the one who I saw up into the wall, or spinning rather, going towards the wall when all of that went down. But that sort of just had a lot of guys racing behind him that sort of stacked them back up. Something that we did predict maybe that would be a possibility here at Darlington would be some cautions. And right now that's holding true, as I already got 2 through the first stage. Not even out of the first stage yet, actually. Typical actually be stuck behind Sir Gillians here, both in the same scheme. Gillians should be in the 12 car. So interesting to see Jason jump all the way up here as well. Oh, see some things getting crazy right through there. Nothing comes of it though. Gillians and Jason up front getting crazy. 245's touch, make contact. That is just more and more contact there. Did not want to see that. Everybody, for the most part, sort of just takes their bumps and goes on. Still 44 laps remain here in stage 1. Could have cut off a lap there. I don't think they would have, so probably still 2 stops. But I don't think that'll matter. Oh, we got a contention for the lead up front. That's Carly going around Jason. That'll have Typical also trying to come back from some early contact There was Sir Gillian's, same scheme as we mentioned already. So I'm not sure what those two guys up front pulled off to make that sort of happen with them coming back up on the front row. Maybe right sides only. Oh, Hollywood comes up off the apron, gets a bit of Jason there. And he'll kind of just go low and slow. Beating Izzy comes around and collects the 21. So you want to put him down into the wall. Hanging low and right down the middle, my man. Rico joining the chat. Big Ben. Not sure what happened to sort of separate all that. But back to Hollywood. Got in contact with Beating Izzy. Now we have a car spun around right here with Hollywood. As Hollywood goes around the inside. Not sure. Maybe thought that car was coming back up the racetrack. But nonetheless, he did avoid him. B-Dubs here at number 22. Not looking too great at the moment. There's a lot of damage on the front of that nose. Harley and Typical, though, going at it up here. Trying to find who's the driver of that 16. Oh, there you go. That's McLovin making himself another start here. Sitting in third in that 16 machine. It'll be Dan the Man in fourth position. Look back there, I think maybe that's Ben rounding up the top five right now. Kenrod in total, sixth. Looks like that 22 decided needed to go down pit road with all that damage. And probably just too much to handle here at Darlington. You really need all the handling of your car. Thanks to everybody tuning in. Please hit that like button. It's much appreciated. Beating Izzy and Showstopper right there, door to door. Jason started on the front row of this restart after that last caution. It did drop back a little bit after some things got pretty contact. A lot of friction, I should say, started to happen up there. Showstopper goes to make a look at inside the 23, doesn't make it happen. Mascarillo may be already out of this race. Did see the 22 go down pit road. Did have heavy damage. Comes back out though. See, Hollywood got spun around there. Now he's in danger of going a lap down. It's a very heated battle for first position. You'd imagine the 21 car does have the speed, but could have some damage. 2 pit stops though to get through this stage. I'm still thinking. This is 1 and 2, Harley and 45 of Typical. Penske versus JGR. With the way the teams are broke down this season. See the 17 car sort of go up the track with the 45 coming down the track through that turn, so maybe a little difference in how these two are going to run their line through 1 and 2. basically identical coming through 3 and 4. Typical maybe opting for just a tad bit of a lower line, getting that better turn through 3 and 4 there. Now we sort of see the 17 back up the track here through 1 and 2. Typical opting to sort of try to stick to them there into the entry. The 45 was a bit lower. Hollywood still up there, still in danger of going a lap down. Not sure where Ben's sitting. I think maybe still in the top 5. Got Kenrod in tow. Mrs. McLovin and Dan the Man for 3rd and 4th position. I think we're at about 30 to go here on the stage. Some more lap traffic comes into play here, 30 to go on the stage. Oh, seeing the 22 there, D-Dubs actually on the same team as that 21 car. Now you got Jason coming into play here. Actually, Parley will now go off track to pit. Sort of sees these cars that got caught a little bit off pace, fighting a little bit. Possibly thought maybe I should just go ahead and make that one of the 2 pit stops. I'm thinking they were left. That's why he went down a little bit earlier. He was leading over that 45 car of Typical. That's who assumes the lead now as he catches Jason and puts that 23 a lap down here in stage 1. Typical will still have to pit if the 23 had already made a pit stop. And Hollywood, I think, kept it on track after he spun. So he's probably just fighting to stay on the lead lap. He'll probably come down pit road after he sees that 45 is done so. Could have ran 10 more laps though, easy. Speaking back on the stop by the 17. He finds himself sort of, oh, we got one down into the wall there. Looked like the other 45 machine actually. Of Sir Gillians, who was supposed to be in the 12. That's who it was. I think D-Dub's not going to finish this race either. 22 and the 20 out of the race already in stage number 1. It's a long and challenging race, that's for sure. Looks like McLovin found himself some separation from that 9 car. Finds himself very relevant though to that 45 car. Got some more guys going down pit road. Kenrod and Showstopper. Superflow in the chat, appreciate you. Yeah, Dan the Man, Kenrod. Who else we got down pit road? Rillo out of the race. Sir Gillians has trouble getting onto pit road, but we'll come back out. Typical is now down pit road. Now I would imagine that the 21 here will be pitting this time by. We'll have to fight with these cars merging back on the racetrack. Possibly looking to, maybe lead a lap here. I thought he had not went down pit road yet. Holmes already made his pit stop. Oh, looks like the 77 of Showstopper goes around. Looks like Hollywood got some major damage on that as well. That could possibly bring out a caution. With 2 cars being involved in that. We got cars kind of scattered on the backstretch here. This happened sort of during the pit stop, so it'll be sort of like freezing the field, so to speak, just sort of get everything back in order. What's going on here? Looks like we've just frozen the field while we wait for somebody. Thought maybe somebody was on pit road. To be quite honest, folks, I don't know what's going on. Start to get some movement now. Anybody wondering, we are under manual caution. Just come off pit road, so I imagine they are catching back up. A part of that accident, I believe, with the 77 was still on the racetrack. But we're still waiting for pit road to be open. This would be your lead pack. How far we needed to go around. That's what I was confused about. That road still won't be open. Looks like Shepherd been up there in the lead, known to kind of pull that long strategy. Some of these guys, though, had already came off pit road. Imagine everybody would go back down pit road. Tires such a key thing here at Darlington, and even under these pacing laps, some wear will occur And I mean, you get unlimited sets on here, so might as well go and at least put the right sides on. I mean, definitely would not hurt. A lot of these guys ahead of you, especially if you just came off pit road, they're going to have to take more fuel than all 4 of them tires. Now, a couple of these guys have damage as well that they'll be looking to fix here under caution. Pit road will be open this time by. Like I had just said, I figure almost everyone will be coming down pit road. So a couple guys actually decided to stay out. Like Dak Flew possibly going to stay out, along with B and Izzy. Now, this could be a wave around situation. I'm quite sure what's going on. They could have just had a pit stop and don't really need anything, so he's going to take the possibility of starting out front. Looks like Sir Gillian's as well going to also do that. 3 cars out front. Kind of flipping the field here off of this manual caution. Down pit road here under manual caution. All but 3 drivers go down pit road to take some sort of service, which could possibly be the last pit stop needed in here in stage 1. Worse than damage fixing stops though. There's 23 still down pit road. The 20 and the 22 both retired from this race already. Drop to the rear here. That's what I'm looking at. Harley, looks like I had lost a lot of position. Choose wheel this time. Should be going green next time around. This will put Dak on the front part of this field for the rest of this stage. Will not be any more pit stops required to get through this. Now, will it stay green? That's another story. That is a whole other deal. Pretty lengthy caution here that happened sort of right in the middle of pit stops. Is a manual caution, so sort of threw everything for a loop, but I think we got it sorted out. Got guys 2 by 2 all the way through into the skew car restart zone this time by, and we are back underway from Darlington here in stage number 1. It's a long race. Dak gets a real good restart there. Going to be ahead of McLovin, and typical here. Being Izzy will drop back and settle into 4th position. Looks like Shepard, though, hangs on to the top 5 positioning through the pit stop. So good run there. Team points. We're trying to win that team championship. Still very much accounted for. Also a best of the rest sort of tournament going on. And then along with the playoffs, Dak, one of those guys trying to climb his way back into this. Makes a good call here in stage 1 to get back out front. Sort of has control of this thing for the moment. You see Typical is right there in 3rd position, right behind McLovin. He's had a good race car all day. The 17 been sort of his competition up front now. He has the 16 and 19 both right there. So it's interesting to see how the 45 will attack this stage as it progresses. If we somehow stay green, we got guys packed up like this all throughout the field. As we look back to Shepard here in fifth and see what those guys are going to be trying to do for a move. Not team though, showing real good control of this field right now. 16 goes to make a move to the inside through 3 and 4 here. Going to draw them even at the door. Typical going to go down to make this thing. No, thinks better of it. Goes back up behind the 16. Sort of plays middle lane here for the. Oh, 16's around. Was too low down there. Guys are going to be scattered all throughout turns 1 and 2. And I think we saw some guys get around down there on the bottom side. Have some heavy damage on a few of these race cars. The 6 have been down there on the backstretch. Now spinning around out of control. And that's going to bring out the manual caution, I would assume, when they get back to the line. That's what's happened. Now we're asking for a shootout. Not sure who went around to get their lap back. It might have been the 21. It will be. There was no more required pit stops, but tires just such a big deal here at Darlington. I imagine everybody will go down and try to get a fresh set of tires. 19 of Dakfu still controls this race after the last caution. So a good move for some track position. And to be able to run through that short run that we had there and hang on to that lead, that was a good thing. Unfortunately, the guy who was racing with the 16 got turned around there. That sort of brought out the chaos flag here at Darlington. I believe this is our 3rd caution. It's something we sort of thought might have been the case. So really a long-running race car most likely at Darlington is what you're looking for, but when you have a lot of guys in the field like this and there's a lot on the line moving on through the playoffs and trying to move up through the team points, so things like this can happen. Looks like the 77, 23, the 5, and the 8, along with the 18, all going to stay out here. So that's an interesting call for those guys. Now, if there was to be another caution, that'd work out really good for those guys. Because then, you know, they still have to pit and take those tires, but will the guys behind them go down and take those tires? Because, you know, tires are just such a big deal here at Darlington. Alright, under manual caution right now. Caution brought to you by SKU Car Pit Stops. Brought to you by West Higgins ORV. That should be one of the first guys off of pit road. And he will be. Keep an eye on him as they go back to catch up to the rest of this field. But quick broadcaster's break as we get the field set to go green. Once again here at Darlington, still sitting in stage number 1. We have 11 laps remaining when we get back around to the line. So we'll see how this will break down once we get back going green. Alright, looks like we got the choose rule out of the way. Should be going back green this time by Dak, still in control of this field. Going to have a good restart against the 45 here. 2x2 once again all the way through here at Darlington as we go through 3 and 4 and approach the skew car restart zone. Dak Fu in that 19 will bring us back green here from the Lady in Black. Got to have a good restart there on the bottom. A real nice restart by the 45 up above them, but dives it down to the inside and gets a little bit of momentum to come back to him there in that 19 car. He'll be out ahead of that 45. Actually, Typical going to nab the wall there out of 2. This will space the lead out quite nicely there for that Toyota. Like we got 8 laps remaining here in this stage. Dak Fu trying to hang on and claim himself some stage points much needed here in this climb back up the board. Typical though is chasing him down. He tries to run down to the inside there on the front stretch, trying to break that weight from the 19 to sort of bring the 45 to him. But we are on lowest draft. Oh no, looks like got some discrepancy for track position right here. 21 of Hollywood moving back into contention here as Typical goes down to the inside of the 19 and takes the lead back on the front stretch this time. Laps are ticking down here in stage number 1. Nonetheless, 19 can stay very relevant here. Make something happen at the waning laps of this stage. 6 to go as they approach 3 and 4. Got a lot going on right here behind the 77. Dan the Man, all a part of that. The caution sort of mixed everybody up where a lot of guys were down pit road when the caution came out, so that left some folks a lap down. There's Parley, he's working up towards Dak Fu. You see Hollywood back there trying to work his way up to Shepherd. At 21 back into the top 4. Having to work back through the cautions here. 19 decides to just go down and let the 17 around. Probably the faster move as he sees Hollywood trying to work his way back up into some good points after what wouldn't be a great stage 1 here at Darlington. Shepherd doing a good job trying to keep that 21 car behind him. Be 2 to go in the stage when he reaches the line this time by. Dak maybe with a good move of letting that 17 around, maybe he felt like, that was just going to be a faster race car anyways. We got one broke loose back there. Went down to the inside. It might have been Sir Gillian's actually. Typical Parley, Dak Fu, your top 3 here. Last lap of stage number 1. Oh, Typical looks like he got loose there. Coming out of turn number 2. Looks like Hollywood not going to be able to make the pass on Shepard, though. Stage 1 belongs to typical Carly Dakfu. Alright, so top 3. Typical Parley, Dakfu. It was Shepard, then Hollywood, Big Ben, Big Nizzy, Dan the Man, Showstopper, Jason, your top 10, Kenrod, S-Math, Jack Ballsy, McLovin, and then Sarah Gillian's sitting at 2 laps down in 15th position. Did have 17 to start this thing. Lag out there for 20 car, 22 car. Just had terminal damage after an incident. But stage 2 about to be underway. 2 pit stops to get through this one, as well as that will be the case in all of our stages tonight. Big mix up here in the field. As you see, the 5 I think just didn't pit there, so you see them peel off to the side. A lot of 19 of Dak goes way down to the inside. Not sure what happened there. Possibly saw a wreck or something cooking up there. Maybe just decided to get out of the way. S-Math in the 18, huge damage there. 6 was around as he went by out of 2. Possibly just a big pile up here to start off stage number 2. That will bring us back under manual caution. Well, at the very least, this one should be very straightforward. Gonna have some guys with damage, though, so pit road will definitely have to be open. Oh my goodness! The 16 comes down and just smacks the 19. I don't know what that was about. Interesting. Well, you never know what you'll see on an episode of Fox. Sure what went down with the 19. I just saw somebody, I thought maybe the 5 had not pitted and just sort of peeled off to get out of the way. Then I saw the 19 brake left, and I'm not sure what that was about. I'm not sure, maybe if he lagged or something. Then I saw some guys sort of stack it up through 1 and 2. That was off a game-initiated restart, so I'm not really quite sure what happened, but that actually brought us back to manual caution right on the restart to stage number 2. And this was a 2-stop stage. I'm not really sure what the lap counts was looking like. But the run we're getting is about 22 laps on a tank. Pit road will be open this time. I think Hollywood deciding to keep it out there on track. A lot of these guys will go down pit road. I think maybe Kenrod as well going to decide to keep it out there. Kenrod and Hollywood will stay out on the track. I mean, they didn't even run any green laps there. It's 51 laps remaining, so they're still going to have 2 pit stops. I mean, I feel like how far your tires have degraded here compared to what these guys are going to come out on. I don't think, pitting probably wasn't really that important. Probably only specifically to this sort of situation. And now, if they had to ran 2 or 3 laps, I would have definitely been like, go down there and get you some more tires. But yeah, I mean, I don't see a fuel advantage there. I mean, those guys that pit here probably going to be able to run maybe 2 to 3 more laps, if that, on this run to go back into the pits. So, yeah, I really, 45 is a tough car to beat. Oh, we see some guys coming in here pretty hot. yeah, 45 of Gillian's, I think, going to get the free pass. He was the only car lap down off of the stage break, so he could have got one of 2 laps back there. 11, I think, possibly just got some damage here under caution, and that's choose wheel is happening right now. So it's possible that 16 will have to try to catch back up to this field going back green. '16 will be coming out of pit road back there, so possibly sort of gets relevant to the field here, but we'll be going green this time by. Thanks to everybody tuning in. Please smash that like button. Much appreciated. Ruthless Racing Pro Series playoffs here on the Ruthless Racing YouTube channel. Restarting here in stage number 2 through the SKU car restart zone. We're back underway. Hollywood in control of the field for the first time this evening. 45 of Typical there, being up front with alongside the 17. We saw Dak sort of control the front of this field for a while, finished 3rd in stage number 1. Had some sort of issue though to start stage number 2 along with the 5 car. Oh no, we got the 16 car once again in damage. Not really sure what's going on with the 16. We saw him have maybe a little incident under caution as well. Not really sure what's going on. Dak, though, after whatever happened, finds himself sort of back in traffic after having such a good stage 1, but played that strategy in that first stage really well, and that's what eventually came to be in the top 3 finish. Some much-needed points. Good battle there between the 23 and 17. Looks like for about 3rd position. Kenrod right there as well. And 5th, see Shepard sort of get up the track. Got Dan the Man, his teammate, right behind him. Looks like a good battle up front as well. Oh, so I heard the 18. Yep, that's who it was. Got around there in 3 and 4. Not really what you want to see. It looks like Typical has regressed. Now he's got Parley racing him tough there. On the bottom, maybe a little contact there, gets Typical up into the wall. It's going to be a good battle there behind Hollywood. I don't think Typical's comfortable maybe with what happened there. Not really sure. Could have just been one of those things, here like at Darlington. You're trying to go too wide on only a certain amount of racetrack. I mean, there's a lot of stuff that looks like a racetrack there below that dotted line, but it does not act like racetrack. Oh, no, we have a bunch of people just sort of send it left-handed out of turn number 2. That's a great place to sort of lose it. Everybody looked like they survived, except for the 77, a showstopper. So that should stay caution-free there. Still going to have 2 pit stops to get through this full second stage. Like I said, caution came out immediately at the start of stage number 2. And that sort of puts everybody in the same box here. Only Hollywood And Kenrod did not go down pit road. Did see Kenrod drop all the way back to 6th position. But, you see Jason sort of get out of line there. That'll allow the 8 car to maybe try to make a move right to the inside. 23 got up into the wall there. That's just how it plays at Darlington. When you get up into the wall, you just risk everybody behind you until you can find that empty slot to get back in line. Sir Gillian's may be out of the race as well. Don't see any movement out of that car. Somebody was down pit road though. I didn't really catch who it was. 17 and the 45 though have caught back up. 45 of typical, I should remind you. Sir Gillian's there in the wrong paint scheme for the evening. But 1, 2, 3 look like this through the first part of the second stage. 40 laps do remain. It is a long one here at Darlington. See what the 17 chooses to do there. Big Ben still trying to make some moves through this field. Gets around being Izzy there in the 11. So there's that battle up front. Those are teammates up ahead of this 45. Thanks to everybody tuning in. Appreciate you hit the like button. Review very much appreciated though. If you're new here, hit the subscribe button. 1,900 of you have done so. March to 2,000 continues. A good battle here in stage 2. Stage 2 going a little better than stage 1. Not a lot was able to kind of work itself out. As I got kicked out of the race. Don't know why that happened. What the hell? Lost connection. Cool. Alright. I'm still alive, so we'll try to get back into the action there, folks. I don't know what the heck that was about. That usually does not happen. NASCAR said no more. Alright, so we get loaded back in here. Guess, I don't know. That's weird. That never happens. Y'all have witnessed history here this evening. Alright. Load back into the action, and not really sure what happened. Wish I knew. I have no clue why. Don't really look like the lobby was lagging. Looked like at some point Parley took the lead right after we had left. Not quite sure where the crash occurred. Looks like it was about probably in 10th position, possibly where the caution had occurred. So we are under a manual caution. We got kicked out and then a manual caution occurred. So, I mean, I guess good timing for that. 77 will be our free pass. Lucky dog. You lucky dog. Go on get now. There's possibly some waiver rounds. I'm not sure what's going on there. Now this may have eliminated one of our 2 pit stops here for stage number 2. Now I am confusion. What else is happening? So maybe pit road could be opening. These guys up front act as if they had pit, but looking up to 4th position at Kenrod, no pit for that guy. I think pit road will be open this time. Now the 21 might have been down pit road, went down pit road, and then the caution came out. But we'll decide to go back down again. Or just kind of stay on the same fuel strategy there as these other fellows. Should be a rather quick pit stop there for him as well. So it's like Jason in the 23 though is going to decide to stay out. Now I saw Dak do this earlier. He could have already made a pit stop himself. I also see the 11 coming up through here. Now these two could end up being our leaders. I have to see how it all works out. Looks like Typical and Parley. So they're fighting for who came off pit road first. Maybe the 45 there though. Some guys up ahead. Hollywood probably was already down pit road. He'll be catching up to these two. I think the 11 has to wait. That's what I was wondering. So these two guys probably were down pit road when it happened. That's why they were able to go on around. Oh my goodness, Dan the man. Not sure what happened. That was crazy. Under caution. Broke a toe link or something, man. Just went right into that pit wall. Well, that ain't gonna be no good. Now, there's still going to be a pit stop on the stage. I think if I'm him, I try to just run it out. Now, there's guys back there. Way back there. I'll have to try to catch back up to this bunch. I think we'll go green this time, though. Typical Jason front row here for a restart in stage number 2. The lady in black as we enter the SKU car restart zone is back underway. Jason, your leader, picking the outside lane for his restart. At least the 45 is Typical. All that room on the bottom to try to get a good go at it here. 30. Oh, the 23 up into the wall heavy. Gets the 21 around. It's going to cause a big crash coming out of 2. This will just put the hiatus on it regularly. As that was a humongous crash here as we got the field back going. That is not what you want to see. That'll still require a pit stop if we somehow keep this race green. It's so tough to tame. Caution pit stops brought to you by West Higgins ORV. Incoming restart brought to you by SKU Car as we enter that SKU Car restart zone. And back green here from Darlington. Stage number 2. Been a pretty caution-filled day here at the Lady in Black. Go on board with Hollywood here during this restart to try to get a look at how this thing's breaking down. Gonna have one more pit stop to get through this stage. Good battle there between two Toyotas, but up into the wall goes Dak. Sends everybody in a frenzy down to the low side of the track, trying to get around that 19 car. And they all do so, but brings them still door to door through 3 and 4, one of the tougher turns in all of NASCAR. But everybody able to get through it quite professionally. And still a tough goings, though, for a lot of these guys back here jockeying for position. 24 laps remain in stage number 2. Still got to have that pit stop under green if it remains as such. If they can run about 4 or 5 more laps before that next caution, then there will be no more required pit stops to get through to the end of the stage. But would like to see a green flag stop. That used to be sort of the trend here in the Pro Series, but got one of our larger fields that we've ever hosted, and green flag stops not really something that is a part of the race. I mean, we do get there occasionally, but most times you just really want a fast race car to sort of hold some good track position, because the yellows will happen. SMAF is up there fighting for his life against that fence. Oh, we got a big one. Crashes through 1 and 2. Oh, yeah, that was a big crash there. 19 of Dak Fu. The 5 of... Not even sure who that was in the 5. Jack. Yep. And I don't think that brought out an in-game caution. I think that's just going to be a manual again here. Now, I imagine they might run a little long under this caution to try to make up for this field number, possibly. Superflow out here making some poetry for your viewing pleasure. We've been following along up to this point. This should be no stranger to you. A caution has occurred. I think the 11 of B Nizzy goes around as your free pass. No one was down pit road when this caution occurred. Pit road should be open this time by. These pit stops are brought to you by West Higgins ORV. pit road is open this time now. Most of the field will pit this time by. And a lot of guys are pitting at this moment. Nobody stayed on the racetrack, so everybody should come out relatively fresh. Parley, Typical, Kenrod, Jason, Shepard, top 5 battle off of pit road. Nothing too major yet. Nothing at the moment is major. But I will say, good points by that 19 car there in the first stage. Going to really need a good finish here in stage 2. I mean, the margin is 3 at the cutoff line. That is Kenrod to Ben. Kenrod having a good run right now, sitting up here in 3rd place. Ben sort of been caught up in these things all day that sort of brought him back through the field here, as we should be choosing this time by. But yeah, sort of speak on Dak, and the spread between not just those guys on the cut line, but the guys just a position off of those positions. The spread there is only about 5 points. So, I mean, it's not like 3 points is all we're looking at here. Really, most of these guys, 5 to 7 points is what we're looking at. A lot of these guys being separated by, with how these fields are a little bit larger right now. I think it would be 15 finishing positions tonight. So could get interesting if somebody doesn't have a good finish that's above that cut line right now. Darlington being a very tough racetrack, anything is possible. Parley going to be your leader. He's going to have Kenrod up there on the front row with him, as Typical chooses down on the low side. Hollywood going to be behind Kenrod. JWoww right there in our top 5 SKU car restart zone, back underway here from Darlington in stage number 2. Let's see how many laps we have remaining. That'll tell us if we're going to have another pit stop or not. Kenrod does not get a good go up there on the high side. 17 laps remaining. Will not need another playoff. Did I say that? I may have. Ben not really out of it here. He's sitting right there at the back of this top 10. And anything can sort of happen. Hollywood found himself sort of wrapped up in the back half of this top 10 for this restart. Parley real strong out front. It was sort of him and Typical there. Stage 1 to the beginning part of stage 1, maybe the beginning part of this stage. Sort of the top 2 just kind of running away at this point. Now we're starting to stack up though from 3rd on back to about 10th position. And that'll be interesting to see what's going to happen there as you got guys like we got the 16 up into the wall. McLovin there in that 16. We've seen him with some issues here this evening. Ben sort of playing right there at the rear. He's been caught up in a lot of stuff. So I imagine he's just trying to play more defensive, trying to miss anything that might happen up ahead of him. Now we start to see some separation start to form from 3rd to 6th. Maybe trying to run away there from Dan the Man. Shepherd right here in this mess as well. Hanging on to that top 5 position. Got Hollywood in pushing along with Dan the Man. Now caught back up here with this bunch. There comes back McLovin as well. Oh, Jason kind of loses it there out of 2. Tries to find a spot. Maybe back where he was. Not going to happen. Kenrod's up into the wall ahead of him. Hollywood takes it all the way down to the inside. 3 wide out of 4. He's going to go 3 wide twice. Maybe even again there with the 16. McLovin tries to get clear there. Is he clear back up to Kenrod? Not going to be the case. Gets Kenrod back into the wall again through this turn. All coming off the action. All the action coming off the front end of this 48. McLovin loses it out of 2. Goes down to the inside. Shepherd just trying to hang on to this thing up against the wall. Ben tries to make a move as well. Wasn't able to benefit against any of those misfortunes of those guys. But man, what action that was through there for about half a lap. West Higgins ORV makes an appearance in the chat. Proud pole sponsor of Ruthless Racing. Alright, so Parley up here in that 17 car. Got the 45 in tow. These two have sort of run away from the field as we've seen a little bit of green flag racing here. It's sort of time to run away, but we've seen Hollywood go take it 3 wide along with Dan the Man. 16 of McLovin did as well. Didn't get all the way back up there. He got Kenrod, got back around him. Kenrod sitting back there in 5th position. Looks like some things got crazy between those two. Back behind Kenrod. Right here, Jason and McLovin was at some point on the same team this season. This is the battle out front. The fight for stage 2 doesn't look anything like it did for stage 1. Speaking of stage 1, guys, that 19, dangerous position right now. 5 to go, and he's got the leaders. It'll be 5 to go at the line. He's got the leaders right there on his tail, so going to go a lap down as the 17 makes a move around him. He's going to go get out of the way here for the 45, but good thing he's got a lot of cushion back to that 3rd place car, Hollywood. Hollywood, though, looks pretty quick. Looks like maybe he's closing the gap a little bit up here on this top 2 of Parley and Typical. Once again, thanks to everybody tuning in. All right, 4 to go here in stage number 2. Hollywood caught back pretty quickly there. Might have used him up the track just a little bit. Dan the Man here in 4th, going to try to get his way around Dak. Dak once again just goes down to the bottom side. Always a very courteous gal when it comes to racing. Now, I can't speak on his in real life endeavors. Looks like Typical, though, just ain't going to have it for this 17. Taking down stage 2 here. Still a whole nother stage to see who can tame Darlington Raceway. Hollywood was doing pretty good at catching these guys, but not going to be the case as things wind down. 1 to go now here from Darlington in stage number 2. Does Typical have anything in that tank left? Oh no, think he almost lost it coming through 1 and 2. Now, will Hollywood have a shot at Typical here to end the stage? Parley looking like the straight cut winner of stage number 2, but can Hollywood win a spot? There's your winner to stage 1. Will not be able to catch Typical, who will finish second. Hollywood in 3rd. Dan the Man, though, finishes up there in 4th position for that stage. Alright, so Parley, Typical, Hollywood, Dan the Man, McLovin, Jason, Kenrod, Showstopper, Shepard, Big Ben, your top 10. Jack Ballsy there in 11th. That's all that I can see. Going to be 2 more stops here in this last stage to get through it. Darlington, 250 miles is what we take on of it. And it is a brutal one, inside and out. But how they finish in stage 2 is how they'll start stage 3. Skew car restart zone back underway. Stage number 3 is to see who can possibly move their way up through the playoffs here in the Ruthless Racing Pro Series. We're bringing it to you all live here on the Ruthless Racing YouTube channel. Very quickly, guys, trying to get in order. Did have a nice run there to end the stage in stage 2. Oh no. Oh no. I saw a little bit of lag, actually, unfortunately. Hopefully that's not what's happening. Things were getting crazy right here. Sort of lined itself out, though. Dan the Man able to finish 4th in that second stage. Finds himself sort of in that no man's land area. Jason did not have a good 3 and 4 right there. He finds himself on the inside lane of a lot of traffic. That's about your best defense here at Darlington. Sort of stay low and keeping the throttle. Sort of force everybody else to kind of hold their line up above you. And that's where you can see guys sort of start to get shuffled. That's what we're starting to see right here behind Kenrod. Dak, real good stage 1 performance. Stage 2, just all the cautions, I think, got to that 19. Got caught up in some traffic. But he's the one fighting for playoff hopes as well. Top 3, though, get it in order real quickly here for the start of stage 3. Ben started 4th in qualifying for this race. Been caught up in some stuff ever since. Finds himself in 9th position here. See some discrepancy for track up here ahead of him. 23. Sure, maybe that was a 77 there. Kinrod able to gain a position though. McLovin's got that 16 in the top 5 right now. Not the cleanest of days for that 16. 77, a showstopper, is known to put some really good runs together. We've seen him trending towards the front of this a few times. Saw him get caught in an accident earlier. There's been so many at this point, you just can't really tell who's been in what. Maybe everybody's been in a little bit of something. Kinrod, victim of circumstance, I think, under one of those cautions earlier on in the race. But everything seemed to work out so far. He finds himself in 7th. Seen him running up there as high as, 2 and 3. So this, 8 has a hot rod to sort of pull things together here in this 3rd stage. Could be a good day. Fu and Jason there racing against one another. Oh, looks like the 18 possibly done for the day. The S-Math. Thought maybe he was going to have a good finish. He saw him running up there a little bit. Awesome strategy. This top 3, though, sort of just working together, looking to run away. Looks like Typical, though, has taken over the lead. Possibly a move here by the 17 to save a little bit of fuel. That is something that you could possibly be looking towards as you got the 2 stops to make in this stage as well. The longest stage of the night, though. A lot of laps to get through here to be victorious at Darlington. That's why it's called the track too tough to tame. Because it is just that. There's a lot to take into account. There's still 57 laps remaining in this race at the moment. We're looking at about 30-second laps or more at this racetrack. So we've still got about 30 minutes of racing left. Parley makes a move to the inside, gets broke loose, goes all the way down to the inside on the backstretch. That allowed Hollywood to actually sneak by and take over the lead as those two got into it, Parley and Typical. But still remain 1, 2, 3. Did that cut the gap a little bit there for that 9 car? Not quite sure, maybe not enough. We'll get right back in order. McLovin, though, still sitting there in 5th position. Showstopper in 6th, Kinrod 7th. This restart has put us under some good green conditions. Look back at Ben here. Gets, oh man, off the wall. Goes way down to the inside of the racetrack. Now, good thing is he can stay in the throttle right here. And, yeah, I was going to say be close to that 23, but that was close. That was too close. Harley's still relevant here to the top 2. That is now Hollywood, then Typical. 45 and 17, a couple laps ago, made some contact. Maybe broke loose there out of 2. Now allow Hollywood to sneak right on by. 21 into 1st position. Was not having a very good day in stage number 1. Things have turned around for him there in that Motorcraft Ford. Still a lot of laps left here at Darlington. 2 pit stops. If we stay green, they'll have to be nice, fast pit stops. I mean, Darlington, one of those tracks, you can really send it down in there trying to get into pit road and hit the brakes sort of late. But you got to worry about sort of sending your car back out towards the racing surface. That is something that can happen once you get on the brakes down on that apron trying to pit here at Darlington. I think this started with around 62, maybe more laps. But it was going to take 2 pit stops to get through it, so I imagine these guys will have about 44 to go, I would imagine. You may see our first pit stops. Maybe a few more laps than that, maybe about 42 to go, depending on how this works. If that was the case, we should see pit stops start to happen anywhere in the next 7 to 10 laps if we stay green here. Right now everybody looks nice and spaced out. I mean, still close enough to cause an accident worthy of a caution. But guys are dropping off in this one. SNAF now out, Jack Bosey out, along with Sir Gillian's, D-Dubs, and our man Rillo out of the race. So Darlington, too much to tame for them this evening. For the race car. Hollywood still hanging on to the lead. Typical look to try to make a move there possibly. Pit stops are coming up rather soon. I think Hollywood is comfortable with having these 2 guys pit with him. So you can go down and try to block the... Oh, trying to block the low side. Got back up into the wall though. He's doing everything he can. You see Parley go down pit road. And there'll be some other guys following down through there, I think. I'm not sure if that maybe Dan the Man. That was who it was. Went down there with him. At least Hollywood and Typical to fight it out here on this racetrack. It is stage 3, 2 pit stops needed to get through this one. I feel like possibly pitted too early there if you are Parley. But now that I see Typical go down pit road, I don't know, maybe didn't pit too early. But I am sort of nervous now that Hollywood stayed out on the track, being in the lead like that. I think you got to get to 44 to go to sort of make the field number work out. It's about 46 to go at this moment. Hollywood will bring it down. That'll be 45 to go. Hope it was a good pit stop there for the 21. Don't know. Looked like he was going pretty quick. Dan the Man off pit road. Now he pit with Parley. So that means he's also off pit road unless something were to have happened to him. He's back on track, cranking up laps. Off this first pit stop in stage number 3. Now there's some other guys who may try to stretch it out. I felt like they could have made it, probably to about 44 to go, unless they're burning a little more fuel than they imagined. Hollywood is down pit road right now. He still remains the leader on pit road, so he'll have some guys a lap down at this moment, but they all should be able to come around and get that lap back. At that point, he'll be managing the gap for people sort of behind the 21 car. You see this group starts to come back off pit road. 17 of Parley was the first to pit of that group, and he did take the lead from Hollywood. There's Typical, and then Hollywood right there. So Hollywood pitted the latest of these 3 cars, but he will have the fresher tire for this run. That will also allow him to run just a tad bit longer for that last run and have the fresher tire at the end of the race if we remain green. Now we've got everybody sort of spaced out, and I think this is going to work into the favor of these guys if it just stays green. Trend of the race, though, has been cautions. I tell you, it's been a good battle all evening with Typical and whoever's leading the race. Now, he has led laps in his own right, but it seems like more often than not, he has been that second place car, kind of just right on the bumper, making things tough. Sure what happened to Ben here. He's not in much traffic now, so maybe a speeding penalty there for the 6. Possibly just a real bad stop there down pit road. A lot of cars did not finish this race. Battle was still pretty good, though, up front. Gap was closed tremendously since everybody merged back on the track from the pit stop. Looks like we may get some more pit stops in about 15 to 18 laps based on the fuel number. "39 laps remaining." Race rule said burnout rule and 2 pits per stage. So one of those pits already happened. 22 on the lap. About 23 to go is that's about the minimum, I feel like, with the burnout rule in effect. So that'd be interesting. For those not familiar with the burnout rule, we end the race just 1 lap early, and it's more for the driver than the fan, but it allows the winning driver to do a celebratory burnout at the end of the race. Real good battle, though, is starting to form up front between these top 3. It's 1, 2, 3, and they look like this. This is after a pit stop. All these guys pitted on different laps. And you can see earliest, middle, and last pit right here, 1, 2, 3. That's fresher tire all behind this 17 car. And the way the fuel number works, he would also be the first to go down again. Now, would he have enough fuel to get through this race? I don't know. I felt like maybe he pitted a tad bit early, but Typical went down right after him, then Hollywood 2 laps later. So maybe, not that early of a pit stop for him. Or maybe I just miscounted on the fuel. Typical there, looked like he had some issues through that turn. McLovin looks like he's chased down Dan the man there in the 9 car. That's 4th, 5th place. Showstopper right there. 6th position. Oh, it looks like a move by Hollywood down on the inside. Doesn't come to fruition for him, but was down there on that quarter panel. front group, they are about half a track up on about 8th place. 33 laps remaining. About 8 to 10 laps, we should start seeing some more pit stops. Will be the last one of the day to get through this last stage at Darlington. Now Hollywood, he's been sitting right here just sort of hanging out. Possibly could have been saving a lot of fuel, and that would allow him to be light with the fresher or the freshest tire at the end of this race. That's sort of what you want at Darlington. You want to have the fresher Goodyear sort of get things done. Now we're going to start coming up on this 11 car, and they are a 3-car pack battling for this lead. I imagine he should just get out of the way there in that Toyota. That's what he does, goes down to the wide side. Lets this battle for the lead still sort of commence. Now, very possibly we could have been seeing that 45 just sort of hanging out behind that 17 as well, sort of save some of his stuff up. But, yeah, the 17 certainly, you know, being the earliest pitted car, is going to have the most worn tire, the least amount of fuel. It's going to be interesting to see when he decides to take that 17 machine down pit road. Getting real close to that fuel window. Probably about 4 to 6 laps at this point. Oh, 17 gets up out of whack, gets up into the wall. Possibly could be that tire we were seeing. He did not give up that leading position because of that. Still definitely have a pit to go. Should be seeing it in 3 to 5 laps now. It's going to be interesting to see when these guys decide to dive this thing down pit road, because we're still sort of above that fuel number. By this time, 27 laps remain. Looks like something happened to McLovin there as he's lost a little bit of pace. Gave up position as showstopper there as he was fighting with Dan the man for that top 4 position. Parley decides to take it down pit road this time. This will be about 26 to go for him. At least typical out here to lead, so we'll see if they remain, you know, if they break it back down the way they did in this first pit stop. Yep. Oh, typical, loose and around here. Oh my goodness, he's up on the high side of the track. Nobody will make contact with him. That is a race favorite out just like that. Parley down pit road into the box. Hollywood remains on track. Not sure what happened to him there. That would be typical. Now if Hollywood's staying on the same strategy here, we'd see him pit next time by. Anything more than that, he'd be running what I would consider extra laps. 24 to go right here at the line. Do need a West Higgins ORV replay on that. See what happens. Unfortunately, we cannot do that. And there goes Hollywood right on cue. That's the strategy he's on. That's what he sticks with. And look at Parley here. He's back out on track. Should be a lap down to Hollywood. Should gain that lap back and then be racing Hollywood for position. Typical down pit road just now. So that's interesting. See Parley getting that lap back right there as he goes into turn number 1. All sorts of guys down pit road making their stops right now. 21 settles into the box. Now Parley will be coming around to merge back to be the leader against this 21 car. Typical spinning a lap before his pit stop. Not what he wanted to have happen there. That sort of took him out of contention. Really needing a yellow to get back into this thing now, I would imagine. Don't know how many spots he'll have to drop back. Looks like the 11 has kept it out there on track the longest, and that will be your leader right now. Actually out of fuel, I believe, going into pit road will be that 11 car. Back to this battle between the 17 and the 21. That's the gap. So pitting that 2 laps earlier, that is the gap. Now, fresher tire does belong here to this 21 car, but that is about a, half a corner, a full corner if you count them out 1, 2 like that. You'll see him dive down into 3 right now. Hollywood gets into 3 about whenever he's midway through 3 and 4, starting 4. Hollywood coming out of 4 whenever he's about at the line there, so about halfway down the straightaway, but the fresher tire. Let's see how that's going to break down for this 21. 17 is known to run some pretty consistent lap times, so just got to keep it clean throughout the duration of this race. Typical, though, taking himself out of contention, unfortunately. Let's see where he ended up at, actually. Not sure who he's looking at up there ahead of him. But not good. Not good at all. Looks like Hollywood, though, making some short work of it. Fresher tire maybe made that big a difference. Unless Parley's just had some not so great laps here. I mean, that was some serious ground being made up there by that 21 car. That was the last pit stop of the day. So it's really coming down to this raw speed here for this last run. And how well you can hang on to that car here in these tough turns. Hollywood's right there on the 17. These are teammates down to the inside trying to take the lead, and does so convincingly is the 21. These guys, now that this race has sort of stayed green, they're sort of putting guys in danger of going laps down. There's only 17 laps remaining here with the burnout rule in effect. See, typical there. He's 1, 3, and 4. Looks like maybe he's dropped back all the way about 10th position. About half the racetrack behind those guys now. Oh, now Parley, I don't know what has went on here, but he's finding himself dropping back now into the 3rd place range as Hollywood continues to run away. Now, I don't know if this 17 took right sides or something. I cannot imagine if that was the case. Maybe just having some issues here. But right there, that's the battle for 3rd and 4th right behind him. Harley just getting out of the way here, not sure what's going on. Moves Dan the Man up to second place. Harley continues to drop back. Maybe right sides was what he done there. Not sure what's going on. Kenrod sitting in ninth position right now. See here. Catch a Darlington's drop. Hollywood looking to lap up to Jason and Big Ben here. That's not what those guys wanted to see. Looking at about 11 to go now. Harley continues to fall back. It had to be a right side call or something here for the 17. Just the way this car is looking. That's definitely something he had to try or something. I don't know why. Possibly had a lot of left side left. Thought maybe he could get away with it. I'm not sure what the strategy there was for that 17. See, a lot of these guys were not able to make the full length of this very tough, tame race. Dan the Man, though, sitting in second place. Best of my knowledge. Hollywood is in first. Still got that battle between Jason and Ben going on up ahead of him. Hollywood has separated himself quite a bit from the rest of this field now. These guys are not a lap down yet, but 21 car is right there. Looking to make a move on Ben. Possibly not wanting to give up that position easily. These two are teammates, though. Hollywood does have a lot of room to work with there behind him. Harley, man, I don't know what happened to the 17 machine. Wish I did. Saw a typical spin under green before the pit stop. That was sort of what happened to him. Hollywood finally makes a move here around that 23 car. Still got Ben ahead of him, though. Some good pace there by that 6 car. These tires did start to even out, though. This run is progressing. Now we'll see if these guys are able to finish this race on what they got. Looking at about 4 to go here. Be 3 to go out of 3 and 4 this time by. Hollywood up there in the lead, looking good. Off of that pitting the latest strategy was all the difference. That 17 car, I'm not sure what they tried to do with that last pit stop. Has made a charge, though. Back up to this this bunch. Not sure what has started to go down, but looking for a top 3 still yet. Ooh, 45 with Shepard got into the wall back there. 77 breaks off the track. Not sure, possibly needs a pit stop. Looks like Hollywood finally got around Ben there. Looking up to Kenrod, that would be up to 9th position going down a lap. A lot of these guys are running out of fuel, but we're coming down to it. 1 to go, presented by Skew Car. Here from Darlington in our first playoff race. Some of these guys are going to be cutting it real close on the fuel. Would not be surprised some guys nab some positions here at the end of this one. Tires and fuel here at the end of this one. Got to be stretched out. But Hollywood will be your winner here in the first playoff race of Season 5. Now, I'm not sure if Parley was able to catch that guy, Dan the Man, or not. Looks a little bit in no man's land there. I'll try to get these official results. But victory belongs to the 21. Did not have such a great day to start off. Stage 1 looked pretty rough, but sort of pulled things together in the final 2 stages. Really had the strategy. Good green flag run to get things done. And now the burnout rule will belong to him. Looks like he'll just do it right here in the traditional manner. Try to look ahead and see who else was there. We need these official results to figure this one out. The unofficial official results, I should say. Did have some guys run out of fuel though, so possibly may need to see what happens there. We'll see who finished where. So Hollywood McLovin coming in second, with Dan the Man third. Dak Fu did end up getting up into 4th position, followed by Shepard, Typical, and Parley running up in 7th there. All right. What a race there, to be honest, between those guys.
I'm surprised you're still alive at this point.
I know that was quite the race.
That was quite the fucking race.
All right. Oh, don't want to do that. All right, so Hollywood in here with us. 21 car did not look like it was going to be that good to start off the race. Didn't qualify on the front row as you usually do, and then just kind of got caught into a lot of things. A little bit of a caution field first stage there, but kind of found yourself in a spin situation where things didn't really work out. But sort of started to put things back together there in stage 2 and had a real good strategy running along there in stage 3. So really, what did it take to kind of get those security points here in the first race of the playoffs?
Yeah, Stu. It was an up and down race for the 21 team for sure. Um, I didn't have a terrible qualifying effort. Just I didn't really bring a qualifying car this week, and I did, and I tried it out actually, and it just wasn't working for me. Um, but started third, and I think that was the incident with Jason where he kind of got checked up, and it was one of those things where um, I just wanted the spot and probably put my car where I shouldn't have, and I tried to give him the most room I can, and I had practiced kind of getting down on the apron there to enter turn one, but I just did it the wrong way and took us out on a couple other cars, and then kind of just had a cautions fall my way right there in stage one. Was able to get my lap back and drive back to fifth before the stage end, so that was big to get some points. Um, and just because of how long this race is, I mean, just the stages, the length of the stages, it just allows for that to happen, especially when we have a couple cautions like we did. Stage two, um, went kind of the same. I got up to first or something, and then Jason kind of had the same issue that happened to me. We kind of took each other out in different incidents. Um, but Darlington it's just one of those tracks where you're gonna have these incidents, and um, I'm putting it on the schedule. I wanted to have a good race here and have people. A lot of people don't like this place. I like it, and there's a couple other guys in the field that do, and I think it puts on really good racing when you get a good group of guys. And I think late there in stage two and the entirety of stage three, the racing was awesome. I mean, we kind of got spread out finally, and myself, Typical, and Parley were running really well at the front. I think the 17 got the wall once, but other than that, it was super clean. Those guys, um, they just pit too early. The lap count for stage three was right on the money to do 22, 22, and 22. So um, I wasn't saving fuel. I was just not using the brake in turns three and four, and I was still able to run the same lap times. It's just a different driving style, but that really allows you to make those 22 laps. And those guys just, I don't know if they didn't, I don't know. They just pitted early. I don't know if they didn't have fuel or tires or what was up, but um, those guys had really fast cars, and usually you don't see them on the wrong side of the strategy. So that was a big surprise by me. And then Typical kind of just got loose out of two, caught the glitch that one time, and once he spun, I knew I was kind of out there by myself because Parley was going to have to save a ton of fuel. So um, just got on and off pit road clean and nursed it home to the finish around some lap cars. Ben and Jason were giving me heart attacks fighting each other. Um, but nah, it feels good to pick up a win after running out of fuel at Daytona. So moving on to the next round, I don't have to worry about Bristol. Um, but yeah, just all in all, a pretty good race. There was a few incidents early on, but we got it cleaned up, and it was a lot of fun at the end. So thank you for broadcasting, Stu. Thank you to all those that watched. And shout out to Mr. Joe Burrow. I need him to rush for 4 more yards for a couple grand. So we're going to be hopping on that and watching that pretty closely.
Hope he gets sacked.
Sacks don't count as yards.
They
All
do if he
right, and
fumbles.
Shout out to McLevin, and Dan had a really good car too. He once he got up there and was running with us, um, he was running really good laps too. So congratulations to the top three, and Bristol's going to be a lot of fun next week.
yep, congratulations, Hollywood, Thames, Darlington, with minimal stripes. But McLovin, I feel like I saw you maybe run about in every position in this race there in that 16 machine. But in the end, when we finally got some uh, green runs in there going down pit road and stuff, was able to get it done, bring this thing up to second. Just kind of speak what it took for you in that 16 car to get through this thing and ultimately, bring it in, one of the better spots of the field.
Um, a lot of endurance, man. Like Hollywood was saying, there's a lot of ups and downs to start the race. I think for everybody, a lot of incidents and maybe just a little lack of patience by everyone, myself included at times. Was glad to get it that going there in stage three when we were able to string out and have those long runs. I felt like looking at like through the runs, I probably had a fourth to fifth place car. I think me and Dan were pretty equal and maybe just a little bit off of those other guys. So I didn't really. I think I was on the wrong strategy just as much as everyone else. I pit that first run. I pitted the same lap as typical. Came out about 2 seconds or so behind Dan, ran him down, and then he kind of hinted to me or said something along the lines of, I'm not in my normal gear right now, and I don't like it." So I was like, "Oh, maybe we need to save a little." So I backed off of him and kind of just didn't push it quite as hard, and kind of flipped on the Hollywood strategy from there. And then was luckily able to bring it home second after some mistakes by typical and Parley between strategy and just incidents on track. Like I said, I probably had a fourth or fifth place car, but we'll take P2. Good run for Trackhouse. I appreciate Kenrod having me on board, and great racing everyone tonight, and had a lot of fun with Showstopper and Dan. I was around them a lot tonight, and really appreciated how they raced me.
Yeah, appreciate you for running, McLovin. Like I said, took a lot to get that thing up in second place, and you was able to get it done. So appreciate you, hanging in there and making it happen. It was a good race.
Yes, sir.
All right. Last of this group, but not least of the race, finishing third was Dan the Man in that car. So we try to find it here. But a real strong race car out of you all day. I felt like maybe you were one of the most consistent drivers of the field because we saw Typical and Parley kind of drop off there. Hollywood had a real tough first part of that race, but that car just seemed to climb up the field there and stay real consistent with where you were running, even out front at some times there against some of those other guys. So maybe you had the car to get her done at in this race, but the way those pit stops fell, maybe some things didn't work out that way. So just try to speak maybe what happened there with the pit stops and you know what it took to be as consistent as you were today here at Darlington.
Well, it like wasn't easy. Like the first stage was a little rough, second stage was a little rough. The third stage I got a chance to race. And I had a pretty good car, but it was a safe car, you know what I mean? Like it wasn't like a hot rod, you know what I mean, like what some of these guys had. But I always try to race as hard and like as like clean as I can, you know. And got third, I guess. So
Yeah, I mean it really did come down to being able to race there at the end in those green runs. So where did McLovin actually finally get around you there in that final stage?
I think like the last fuel run, we just I'm not sure when it was, probably like 10 to go.
All right, so pretty good finish though out of the car. I mean that really helps you out here and helps out the team points category as well. So since Hendricks brought you on, you've been one of the better drivers for them, and you continue that streak tonight. So congratulations on the top three here at Darlington. Appreciate you racing.
Thank you much.
All right, Hollywood, if you don't have anything else, I think I'm good.
I'm good, brother. I'm ready to sweat the fuck out of this game.
All right, so that'll be it for us. Didn't catch the second playoff race in the GT Pro Series. It was on yesterday. You can go back and watch that on our channel here. But moving ahead to next week, we'll be over in Japan racing. It'll be the next to last race for us, so that will be a cutoff race for two guys over in Japan on the GT7 side of things. But this will be the end of the first race for us, so don't have to worry about Bristol if you're the 21, but everybody else has to go to the last great Coliseum with moving on their mind. But yeah, that'll be it. Congratulations, Hollywood, on the win. McLovin bringing her in second. Dan the Man coming in third. Great race here from Darlington. A long one indeed. But Without further ado, rock on, race on, ruthless racing.